Hey guys, it's GirlGotGame, and welcome back to The Letter, where today, only one of our cast of characters is going to die and everyone else is going to survive. So let's begin with Bella's death. Well, here she comes. She's coming for that Bella death. So yeah, the very beginning of the game probably isn't going to be that much different, but later on I'm expecting some changes. So I will definitely bring you in for that when we get there, guys. Just hang tight. I'll see you in a second. Okay, I'm bringing you guys in for Marianne's chapter. We're almost at the end of her chapter, and this is an option that should theoretically give me 100% of all the nodes on Marianne's chapter. So here's hoping. Okay, we're gonna get that negatory. And if we skip...
Kylie likes you well enough.
Yes, well, it's Kylie. But Tyke likes everybody, and on the off chance she doesn't, likes them well enough as long as they buy her sweets. And sure, that kid is great. But if I get tired of her, I can ship her back to her father at the end of the day. Having kids of our own will be a whole different monster entirely.
I think you'll be a great father.
I'll walk away as far and as fast as I can while still carrying the box until I'm a good distance off in the foyer. I even risked my neck. Are we, like, back, or...? Okay, I wasn't sure she was going to comment on what she overheard. So if I look at this... Oh, it's not over, though, yet. But I'm like, I think that was the last... Oh, no, there's one more missing! No! There's one more! It's over here! Shoot. I got this one. This one's done. Marianne McCulloch. I know this one is connected to Isabella's third ending, so I'm gonna get it one of these days. Blurg. I celebrated too early. Fine. Alright. Well, back to skipping. See you in a bit.
He didn't have to hide it from me.
Oh, hello. Apparently, Becca had something to say here. The only relief to be had in this, perhaps, is Zachary's comforting smile when he approaches. He appears as disturbed when he stands beside me, fiddling with the buttons on his camera, even though the device is off.
Eventful night, huh?
You can say that again. It was awful.
He pauses for a moment, stares at me intently. Then he laughs, a tired one, but filled with humor in spite of what we've witnessed.
Let me guess. Ashton.
I feel like I've seen this before, no? No? Okay, yes. Yes? No. Yes. Okay, well, for whatever reason, something triggered there. Back to Skip Town with me. Okay, I've boogied along to Ashton's chapter, and I'm gonna pick a couple different options here, which we've done when Bella was alive, but now she's dead, so this should unlock some extra nodes for us. Okay, it's a negative. Specifically, the elephant in this room, and it's damn big elephant considering the possible outcome Zach's cute little plan might have resulted in. So I don't think I can skip. Nope. I might as well let off some steam first before we go to the heart of things. I'm glad that that's confirmed.
Zach, we agreed you won't do anything stupid.
Really, Ashton? That's what you're gonna greet me with? No, what's up, Z-Man? I just biked through almost half of this city to get here. I could use some friendly greetings right now. An explanation would be good too if you can. You weren't very clear over the phone. And I made no such promises.
You said you're not going to do anything reckless. Your words, not mine. What you did is the exact opposite. And that's not the only problem here. Those people can easily sue you for breaking and entering. And believe me, I won't be able to do anything if they do. Did that cross your mind? The whole 46-acre lot is a private property. Why were you even there?
I know, Ash. But the people in there might be in danger. You've seen how Hana's photos turned out. Besides, I was looking for you. Didn't I tell you that?
Why would I even go there?
Well, you mentioned the plan. I assume that's where you went since that's where Isabella found the letter.
Sorry. I was really at a dead end.
The logic in it stuns me into silence, to say the least. Then I remember his hesitance, the tone he has taken before agreeing to go here, and all at once my anger wanes. So... Tired and frazzled, upon learning that he had come from the Ermengarde mansion, a very irate Ashton chided his friend for ignoring his warnings and being reckless. I don't know if I can skip yet. I'll read this first. Partly this is my fault for keeping things vague. I can't keep berating him for assuming that when I've only left him with vague answers. Still...
You could have called me.
I did.
I didn't receive any, and my phone was with me.
You're kidding, right? I was at it the whole night.
The whole atmosphere in the room changes in 2 heartbeats. Back again to the tension-riddled one plaguing us. Zachary stares at me like I've grown another head. The expression in his eyes, questioning, asking for a confirmation. Like my word can't be trusted. Not that I'm holding it against him. I can't even believe the things coming out of my mouth these past few hours.
Please tell me you're joking.
You can check my phone logs if you want. I really didn't get any. But do it later. It's more important that you hear what happened at BRC last night. Zach, just as I was about to leave, I saw...
I never get to finish that. Abruptly, my phone rings again, blaring its badly saying ringtone throughout the whole room. Zach pauses, waiting, when I pull it up to check the caller ID.
It's Becca. I'll tell her to get here as soon as she can. Excuse me.
Without another word, I slip out of the room and answer the call. Okay. I'll see if it'll let me skip this. Because I have been here, and I haven't been here, if you know what I mean. However, the tone she assumes isn't what I'm hoping to hear.
Ashton, are you there?
Okay, so still all new node stuff. Yay! More percentage stuff. Ragged, a bit out of breath, there's a tinge of urgency in it. Listening to her from my side of the line makes it seem like she has just run a marathon prior to this call.
Becca, where?
I got your message. What happened?
Nothing. Yet? Where are you?
Downtown. I had to make a quick visit to the library.
Listen, Ash, that thing Isabella told us about. There's something you guys need to...
Please tell me you didn't... Whatever. Save it for later. I'm at Salemwell. If you can get here as soon as possible, that'd be really great. This is... related to that.
You're there?
Yeah, Zach too.
With a quick press of the button, I switch on the loudspeakers and step back into Isabella's apartment. I hold out the phone towards him, giving it 2 shakes, urging him to speak. He's still carrying a worried look on his face. This should ease that.
Rebecca's asking for you.
Hello, Rebecca. Odd morning we having, eh?
Hey, Zachary. What's happening over there? Is this something I should be worried about?
I don't know, but your signal is coming through super clear, girl.
We'll tell you once you get here. Please, hurry.
I don't like the sound of that, Ash. But I'm on my way. Give me a few minutes. I'm driving.
Of course, the very next thing she says, it's back to phone garbly-gook. She mumbles a goodbye, then hangs up. Becca's the last person I need to account for, yet that call left an even more strained tension in the room. Thankfully, we don't have to linger in it for too long. She only takes a matter of minutes to get here, and the second she steps into the room, apologies spill out of her mouth first.
I'm sorry, Ash. Were you two waiting long?
It doesn't matter. What's important is you're here.
Not burnt to a crisp or brutally murdered somewhere. Whole. Alive. Although she seems a bit shaken, it doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. At least now I can relax, ease the pressure off my shoulders, if only by some. But the minute she closes the door, she winces. A small reaction. Zach doesn't even catch it. It sets a precedence for a careful observation, nevertheless. A closer look at her reveals her much more disheveled than usual. Hair in a bit of a mess, probably flattened in a hurry. The back of her dress also shows stains of dirt in places it rarely gets into. She's also leaning more on using her left arm. She's right-handed. Perhaps the most telling is the slight limp she has, once she leads herself into the room. It all sprouts a hatful of questions. What exactly happened, and how she ended up in that state? Pretty sure a simple trip to the library won't do that. I grab for her arm before she can walk past, carefully to avoid hurting her in case there really is an injury. Seems like it at first glance, but you can't be sure until after a careful examination has been made. I suspect some bruising, at least. Although minor internal fractures aren't out of the equation, they have a nasty way of staying hidden. Sure enough, Becca tenses immediately upon contact. Tries to pull back, although the sudden gesture only elicits another wince, forcing her to a halt. She turns to me, her eyes searching mine for answers, and doesn't appear quite pleased with the interruption, or the fact someone has brought it to light. But that someone also has to make sure. I think I'm gonna do a little bit of a cheat here. I want to see where we are in the stream of time, as far as, like, unlocking stuff. So we're up there. Okay, we haven't done either of these yet. This should be the negative one. This should be the positive affection one. Maybe I'll do this just because there's more nodes down below.
Please tell me you did not just do something dangerous today.
Okay. Before that frown even completely forms in her face, I already know that somehow this whole questioning has started off on the wrong foot.
What are you implying?
That you're running blindly into things?
This is what I warned Zach against the other day, and now you're doing the exact same thing.
I know what I'm getting into, Ashton. Besides, it was just a trip to the library.
That arm injury and the limp tell a completely different story.
She caught me off guard. What? Did you think I went looking for her with a book in hand? I'm not stupid, Ash. And what do you want me to do? Stand here? Just let that bloody ghost do whatever she wants to us?
No, I want you to be careful.
No?
We don't know what we're dealing with here yet. I've yet to figure everything out, so...
You're not the only one who can do things here, Ash. Quit playing the damn hero, you're not. You should be thankful someone's even trying to help. Especially after it took one person dying for you to come around.
Ooh. Well, I think I know where that branch went in that down area. Eek.
You're the one who kept brushing all of this off. In fact, you're the one who dismissed Isabella first.
The last one feels like a slap in the face, really. Rebecca has a knack for being brutally honest with her opinions. We've often clashed at times, yet I still respect her for it. Her opinion is as valuable as every other person's I've let into my life, and this time she's right. I've made a huge mistake. But damn it, I'm trying.
And you didn't? Back at the movie house, you were agreeing with me.
Guys, chill. No blaming anyone. It's all in the past. Just let this go. We have more important matters to deal with, yeah?
She still should have ran. That woman's not something you can hit with a book.
What?
Believe me, Ashton, I did. Then a bloody cart came out of nowhere. Do you have any idea how painful being hit with one is? But you know what? If it weren't for a damn book, you wouldn't be yelling at me right now. I would be dead.
A sobering silence descends in the room. Instantly, both our anger have been tempered as the gravity of that one word hits all of us. Dead. Alright. Before it brewed into a fight, Zachary stepped in. Yeah, okay. Still can't skip. Dead. We might just be back to non-skip town from here. How many more close calls do we have to go through? How many deaths do we have to witness? How long can we keep this up? We're bound to break at one point. No normal human being with a sane mind can last like this, losing people important to them, one by one, right in front of them. I've already lost Isabella. I'm not losing Zach and Rebecca, too.
Let's leave these issues for now. There are some things, a lot of things, you guys need to know.
Well, if this is gonna be long, you better get a quick remedy for that arm. Let me fetch you one. But no more shouting at each other, aight? If Bella were here, she'd be mad at you two.
Facts. That marks the end of it, at least for the time being. And as soon as Zach returns and hands Rebecca the remedy he promised, we get straight down to business. Surprisingly easy, considering the rigid air in the room. Although there's some tense fumblings for words at first, the whole conversation gains steam once what happened last night at BRC has been put on the table. All at once, everything we've brushed off, carelessly ignored, and rudely dismissed have been laid out for close scrutiny. Zach's encounters with the woman and his dreams, Rebecca's close brushes with death every time she appears. The dread, the fear, the terror she brings out even in the bravest of us. Everything. Because no matter how bleak this all seems, there must still be a way out of this. There has to be. Logic be damned. Or at least that's what I would like to believe. Okay, can we skip from here? Nope. Yet even as the cold morning light shifts to the warm hues of late afternoon and eventually night, none of this still makes a fucking damn sense. Darkness has fallen, but we're still nowhere near figuring things out. If anything, we're more at a loss than we've ever been before we even started this. The next thing I know, frustration rears its ugly head, and the sheets of paper I've been holding smacks the table harder than I've intended. The sound of it echoes loudly in the small room, and everyone simply falls silent. Along with it is a release of another long-held breath. Perhaps the 100th since this morning.
We aren't getting anywhere at this rate.
Chill, Ash. You're the one who picked out these files. What are we supposed to be looking for here?
A pattern, something that might hint a way out of this. The guys from BRC have probably also read that dumb paper.
Not so dumb if it can kill all of us.
Very funny, Z-Man. Anyway, like I said, these guys from BRC have probably also read that dumb paper. They've been working on the mansion before the open house, but Isabella found it during.
Shouldn't we look into the mansion too? That's where the letter came from. That's where she came from. Maybe it's just as the professor says. There might be more to this than what we're thinking on the surface. Don't know, just a thought. I mean, look at all this stuff Rebecca brought with her. Apparently our teachers have been lying to us all these years. So who knows?
Hey, now don't blame us. Blame the bloody books they wrote.
Sighing, I reach for one of the papers Rebecca has brought with her and carefully inspects the words printed on the page. A copy of an old newsprint from even before the city has been founded. Just a typical newsprint, but my eyes do linger at the illustration of the noblewoman's servant.
Any ideas why they're keeping this in the restricted section?
Rebecca merely shrugs at my inquiry, but her own annoyance seeps through her answer.
How should I know? I wasn't even aware we have archives that go as far back as this. This is before the city was even founded. As a matter of fact, if it weren't for Andrew's help, I wouldn't have gotten my hands on any of it. Maybe they didn't think it would be important to talk about it. After all, this is more Anselm's than ours.
That or some old bugger's hiding something.
Why else would these tell a completely different story? Revising what's written seems a useless endeavor on its own when you have nothing to gain from it. But how does the mansion equate into all of this? How does the letter Isabella found does? Will bringing the letter back there fix everything? If I am going to go by what Andrew told Zach, the connection between the letter and the mansion's curse may run deeper than what we've initially thought. That stupid paper might be at the heart of this for some reason, and we won't be able to figure this out without looking into the other. Fuck. How do I? The mansion's a private property now. Can't just waltz in there. I'd rather die before I even think of begging Wright to let me in and investigate the place. One thing's very clear after these last 2 days, however. We're not safe anywhere, and I have to act fast if I want to keep my own friends alive. We can't keep running away. Sooner or later, she'll get us like she did with Isabella. Before that happens, I have to put an end to this. Sighing, I stand up and stretch out the kinks in my back after several hours of sitting. We've been at this for too long. A break is needed. Time to let everything to sink in, or else we'll all burn out. I know I will, and it's another thing I cannot let happen when they're all counting on me like this. Albeit unspoken, it's in their eyes as they look up at me, waiting.
We've been at this for hours. We should take a break for a few...
The rest of it never makes it out of my mouth as something heavy and grating sounds from the far end of the room. A harsh, booming noise rending through the eardrums of everyone in the room. All at once, the two of them are on their feet while I quickly palm for my gun on the table. However, before I can pull it up and remove the safety, the whole racket stops. Stillness descends in the room, and amidst the sudden hush, the three of us exchange anxious glances. So much for a break.
I don't like the sound of that. At all.
Gather everything.
No questions asked. They waste no time getting to work, piling up the documents we've been reading through. But before we can even finish, another noise ups the tension already gripping the place. Suddenly the lights go out, and the wardrobe at the end of the room rattles, as if something inside begs for freedom. Cautiously, eyes glued to it, I take a step forward and I release the lock from my gun. I'm no trigger-happy person. I'm not even sure if this will work on a ghost. But right now, its smooth surface against my palm, with the trigger on my finger, provides the closest thing I have to relief as I approach the closet.
Ashton, I have everything. What are you doing?
I don't think that's a good idea. We should just...
Worried as they both are, they immediately stop at the slight raise of my hand. But the edge is there while they all huddle in the space between the door and the room. In case this goes south, whatever I find inside, they have enough time and space to run from their position. In 2 deep breaths, I've crossed the room and stood in front of the closet. Whatever's inside has yet to stop thrashing. Instead, it has now moved to banging at the door, louder and louder the longer I dally. Another shallow breath, a glance at my companions, a nod, something creaks. Then in the next moment, I'm grasping at the handles and swinging the doors wide open to reveal... nothing. Right away, I part the clothes hanging on it, and still none. No ghost, no woman, not a single trace of whatever, whoever's inside. Confused, I glance back towards Zach and Rebecca, only to see them mirroring the same expression on my face. The noise has finally stopped, but I'm quite sure it isn't my imagination. Or maybe it is, and I'm just too strung up that my head's now making things up. Whatever the case is, we need to get out of here, as soon as possible. This only confirms we aren't safe anywhere. Without bothering to close it, I move back, ready to leave, adrenaline now coursing through every vein in my body. In the next second, I'm barking orders and...
We should go. You two, we need to...
I'm sent sprawling on my back as something cold catches my ankle and yanks. The resulting fall knocks the wind out of me. Pain racks my whole spine and the back of my head as it collides against the floor, with force enough to dislodge my own brain from my skull. A moment lasts before stars fade from my vision. And then, I sense it. Cold tendrils twisting around my ankles, the smell of vile rot assaulting my nose. Nauseating, sickening, a foul smell draining every feeling in my body. The moment her horrid laughter, still as unpleasant and vicious as the last time I've heard it, reaches my ears, my eyes snap open. Perhaps it's just an experience, or maybe my mind still attempting to comprehend this. Regardless, the minute my eyes land on her, the whole of my body freezes, the gun in my hand turns useless as my grip on it slackens. It's in the manner her gaze bores on me, I'll say. The look of utter hatred and malice. I've seen it loads of times. From suspects, mostly murderers, who never regretted their actions despite being caught. This is the face of someone you can no longer reason with. And I know, the moment she laughs again and starts dragging me towards her, it's already going to be the...
Ashton! Snap out of it!
No, I can't die here. Not yet. The haze fades from my mind, and instinct kicks in then and there.
Everyone out! Get out! Get out of here!
With one powerful tug, I yank my foot out of her grip and scramble back to my feet, ignoring the piercing wail she fills the room with. Within the span of a second, I'm gunning for the door, grabbing the wrists of the first person my hand can reach and leading the two of them out. Into the hallway, down the flight of steps, and right inside my car. I waste no time flooring on the gas pedal the second the last person closes the door behind them, and in a short while I'm driving us out of Salem Well. I don't even entertain the thought of winding down just yet, even as the last of the woman's painful cries fade into the night. Alright, Halloween time. Let's go. There is a ruckus. We can skip some of this. Not necessarily a bad end. The chatter reaches my ears first, halting my movements. Sure enough, when I glance up, I find them, Zach and Rebecca, just as they've entered the park grounds, bags of convenience store food in hand. After last night's flight from Salem Well, we've elected to stay the night here, unsure if our own homes will still be safe. Normally, we'd all be adverse to the idea of spending the night outside like this, but panic and distress has tainted that decision. It's not like any of us have gotten an ounce of sleep anyway. On the off chance one of us did, it only lasted but a second, or it's the fitful one. But looking at them right now, from afar, it's easy to mistake them for just friends on a day out. Zach's booming laughter echoes as makes vague, wild gestures with his hands while talking. Something funny or amusing, probably, because it's soon followed by Rebecca's giggles. Their voices fill the atmosphere with light air, temporarily easing off the disheartening mood. It's easy to pretend we're not knee-deep in a life-and-death situation the way they're acting now. Easy to forget we've lost someone. If anything, it's only their appearance that betrays that mask. Slightly disheveled, bags under their eyes, an exhausted curve in their shoulders, and dragging footsteps. But the closer they get, the more obvious these signs are to the naked eye. Zach tosses an energy drink my way the moment the distance allows it. Rebecca hands me the other bag she's holding, before seating herself on a bench nearby. The scent of warm food immediately wafts from the bag when I open it, carried further by a passing breeze. Whatever sweet sauce they drizzled over this pork wannabe, it smells heavenly. Hell, even the sorry-looking vegetables seem appetizing. Despite myself, without even checking exactly what this is, hunger swiftly takes over every rational thought. I dig in without waiting for them to start. Both of them appear to be of the same mind, too. Soon enough, they also start with theirs. No casual talk while we fill our empty stomachs. Exhausted as we all are, food is something we can't forego. Starvation dulls the thinking, weakens the body. If we are to survive this, we're gonna have to take care of ourselves first. Isabella would never let me hear the end of it if she were still here. In a matter of minutes, we're done, and dumping the empty cartons on a nearby waste bin. Along with it is the shift in the mood. Back to dismal. Back to the problem at hand. The comfortable atmosphere from minutes ago was nice while it lasted. Admittedly, I've missed these kinds of moments between us. We never had the chance, always busy on some project or work. The things we've taken for granted, now we're realizing how valuable they are. With one of us no longer here, the world has an awful sense of humor. While the one we've just had is short-lived, it's another thing I want to look forward to, if we ever free ourselves from this damn curse. I'd like to believe there's a way. For now, we have to focus back on the present. This. Dead people. The letter. The curse. It's not simple to bring these up, but necessary.
Where to now?
It's not a question directed at anyone in particular, but they both look to me as if my face has all the answers in the world. I used to think so, back when I was at the top of my game and I'm still sure of everything. Now there's just uncertainty sullying whatever decision I come up with. At some point, logic has simply stopped working here and we've started grasping at straws. Along with exhaustion, fatigue, and stress, we have enough kindling to get a fire burning. The not-so-pleasant kind of fire.
We can't stay here. We'd be sitting ducks if we remain in one place.
All right, so we just keep running like this?
We don't really have a choice, Rebecca. We can't even go back to our own homes. No matter where we go or hide, she's gonna get us.
It still doesn't change anything. You just said it. Nowhere's safe. But dying is the last thing I want to do right now, Zach. Not to a stupid chain letter. Someone was too gullible to pick up and show everyone.
Don't you think it's a bit too late to start laying the blame on someone else? It's not even helping at this point.
Who said anything about blaming anyone? Do you really think I don't blame myself for this as well?
I mean, you kind of blamed somebody.
Isabella warned all of us. In the first place, we wouldn't even be having this problem if you'd only...
And blaming somebody else again.
Will you two cut it out? This ain't the place for I don't know, petty squabbles.
Oh, let her say it, Z-Man. Nothing has stopped her from saying what she wants before.
Oh.
Knowing her, I'm pretty sure she has loads of things to say about this.
If you don't want to get caught in it, then stay out of this, Zachary.
And leave it to the two of you to hash it out here?
Zach, you don't have to...
You really want that? Really? Because I'm quite sure this ain't gonna turn out pretty whether or not I stay here.
Poor Z-Man.
Because every single time, the two of you get into an argument, even before, I have to be the one keeping this whole dumb friendship intact.
Oof.
I'm honestly getting tired of this. For once, can't you two hold a conversation without fighting when things don't go your way?
Spitting truth. Zach, you got them facts.
Then go ahead, leave. No one's telling you to stay. This is just like your movie again.
Oh.
This and that are two different things, Rebecca.
Too soon, Rebecca.
And you know what? Right now, I'd rather see my movie flop twice over than go through this.
All right, that's enough. Both of you, stop this.
Well, that was quite the argument. Whoo-hoo-wee. They both falter to silence at my words, and an awkward, stifling mood descends between the three of us. I do not mean to shout, to snap at them, to add to that kindling. Not in a moment when any time, anywhere, she might get to one of us. We're all in the same boat, yet here we are playing the blame game. Little by little, we're falling apart, caving into the pressure to the bleak situation we're trapped in. Did that ghost mean for this to happen? To divide each of us so she can pick us off one by one right after? Who knows? Anything's possible now if her kind can exist. With the fire burning between us rising as high as it does right now, I'm afraid, deathly afraid, that the possibility might come sooner than I can figure all of this out. Fuck, I still can't think straight. I can't even believe the next words coming out of my own mouth. That out of everyone, I have to be the one saying these to them. This is more their forte than mine. Keeping the peace, placating everyone, while I unintentionally aggravate people with badly chosen words. Funny how fast the tables have been turned after just one unfortunate incident. How am I even supposed to cope?
If we all want to get out of this mess in one piece, we're gonna have to cool our heads first.
Before my own temper flares, I walk away and slide back into my car. Let's just... Okay, so basically the same thing. If the door slams with more force than needed, I'd like to blame it on the pent-up anger boiling up in me. I'm not even sure what or who I am angry at. The ghost? At them? Or maybe at myself for being this useless. Because despite none of them saying it, I know, goddammit, they're still counting on me. In spite of my failures, or every harsh word I've uttered, or how unbearable I can be as a friend. It's there when the tension after the argument finally breaks, and one after another they follow me and get in the car. It's in concerned glances they shoot my way when I start the engine without a word and drive off. It's in their silence, a heavy gift, their unwavering trust. Yet it's one I'm more than willing to carry, even through my own exhaustion, if only to keep them safe. In this city of 68,000 strangers, they're the only ones I have left. Okay, are we... Yes, we can skip a little bit. Why, hey! Who knew? For the sake of the one we've lost. Is that it? That was it. I think if I do this, there's a node that unlocks because Becca's alive. I think. Plus I want to get that positive Z-Man Watson energy. Yes.
This won't really bring her back.
Okay, there it is.
Maybe this is you trying to make amends, or whatever. I don't know. You're making your own decisions here.
Whatever.
But if something happens to you, it'll be just that. There'll just be another dead body out there. Please, don't do something like this.
Don't worry. I'm not stupid enough to get myself killed. I just want things to go back to normal, Zach.
Okay, might be able to skip. Yep. Alright, so we went back to bed. The sun hangs lower when I stumble back into consciousness and drag myself downstairs. Around this time, the patrons usually start to trickle into the main lounge until it reaches a peak around midnight. Today, however, it remains thin. But considering what day it isn't too worrisome for the kind of business G runs. He has always complained about the lack of a decent crowd on week start, although he doesn't really begrudge his customers for it. No one wants to start the week with a bad case of a hangover, after all. Even him. Which makes the concerned look he gives me come off a bit too odd. With the kind of danger we're in, this swiftly puts me on the edge, even before sleep completely fades from my mind.
Something wrong, G?
G hums, but there's an undertone of annoyance in it, despite his casual and open movements. And only after he finishes wiping a tumbler and carefully settles it face down on the table does he give me an answer. The way he stares back at me honestly makes me squirm. It feels like I'm being stared down by my primary school teacher for sleeping in class again.
Nothing much. Monday's still a slow day for this place. But you, might want to check on your friends, kid. Looks like one of them woke up on the wrong side of the bed while you were out.
Another question forms in my head along with a small confused frown. Though before a single syllable slips past my mouth, he gestures his head on the far side of the pub's main lounge. In a corner, Rebecca paces in deep thought with a scowl on her face. Okay, I might be able to skip this. Yes, hey. I'll take that. With what's at stake, I can't let this curse win, if such a thing even makes sense when dealing with the supernatural. Tonight, by any means, I need to go back to that accursed place. Alone. Because who knows what we might find in there. Whether or not the rest of them agree with this plan is inconsequential. Their well-being is my top priority, and I'm not just about to drag them in there with me. My apprehension must have been quite obvious in my face. In a sudden motion, Rebecca reaches out and taps my arm. What was that? Who else will be left to fix this? Zach? Her? So, I'm gonna offer a vague answer because Zach's alive this time.
I need to head off somewhere tonight.
Yeah. I've already told Zach. One person is enough. So...
Keep Z-Man safe. Watch over him while I'm out there. Make sure he doesn't do anything stupid.
Keep the cinnamon bun safe.
You're good with that kind of stuff.
I'm a high school teacher, Ash. Not anyone's babysitter.
A grimace is on her face, but I know she'll do it, even without me asking for it. She cares, more than anyone, more than what her fiery temper expresses. And it eases something in me, knowing the Zach will have someone like her here. Sure enough, after a stretch of silence, she eventually nods. She does not entirely agree with this. It's in the distant look on her face, but she's willing to trust me on this. For now, that's enough. Okay. We have to go get the letter. Asked her to stay safe. 3, if I'm inclined to go by the rules Z-Man set, but when have I ever? Regardless of how generous that is, each second's just as important as the next. With a brief detour needed, I can't waste time dallying here. Okay. There was no smooches. So either we rejected her confession, or she was like, you know what? I realized I was in love with a kid from years ago.
Someone's dead because of you.
Hello, voices. Ah, okay. She did let him go. She just wanted him to know.
You're the one who took that letter off Isabella's hand that day. You're the one who opened it.
How does it feel, I wonder, to know you're responsible for all of this?
What do you think I'm doing? Why do you think I'm still trying to fix this?
Oh, but you can't. It's already too late, and you know that. You know all of this is futile.
Okay. Okay, Ghost Bella. I don't
We can tell my
believe
friends
you.
what might have happened here. They're at the crawl.
Okay.
You know the place, right?
I trail off, letting the meaning of my words hang in the air. I want to be optimistic. So I'm gonna skip. I was optimistic about skipping and it worked out. Okay, so Bella's not here, so hopefully we still suplex Johans? Yep, and suplexed. Hi guys! Is Marianne still with you? In one corner, Zach and Rebecca watch almost as surprised to see me. McCullough is also with them. Of course, she didn't listen to me, even if I've already exceeded the 15 minutes we've agreed on. Although, color and strength seem to have already returned to her, enough for her to be able to stand unassisted. The empty plate on the counter appears to have played a part on that. Good news, I guess. As for the other two, however, relieved as I am that they've had the sense not to venture deeper into the mansion, I can't keep but roll my eyes at both of them.
Zach, I said 4 hours.
I know, but Rebecca asked and... Come on, bro. You know I ain't a very good liar. And you know how she is.
Come on, bro.
And it didn't even occur to you to stop her?
I tried, all right? Even G. She was out the door before I could say anything.
Did you really think you could hide this from us?
I had to, Becca. And how did you guys even get in here?
Both of them exchange a look, one that I absolutely don't like. In the end, it's Rebecca who speaks up, albeit with a bit of hesitation.
Someone was screaming, Ash. It led us here.
Without warning, the door behind me slammed shut.
We need to get out of here.
Screw right. I need to get these people out of here. Lucky we're in the kitchen and we have two ways out. The back door and the cellar offers. Except the hatch won't budge when I pull at it, and neither does the back door, as if something has locked it firmly on the other side. Zach also gives it a few tries, but even with the big guy's strength it won't open. There's a long bout of silence in which we simply look at each other, likely sharing the same thoughts. We're trapped. Something or someone has intentionally led us here. Fuck. In that same moment, once realization dawns in, something shifts again. Blood. Bloody shifts. Tell you what. Alright. So now... Oh. That was a whisper.
And you are going to die alone.
And then it got loud.
Shut your fucking mouth.
You know it's true, though.
All of it. It's why all you can do is tell us to shut up. You don't want to hear a single word, because you're already aware of it.
Yeah. Look, I got places to go, Ghosts. Zach helps McCullough first, assisting her up and through the gap before giving a hand to Rebecca. The moment the ladies are in, I nod for him to go through.
Go ahead. I'll watch your back.
Surprisingly, he does that without any protests. Not that there's any need to. Sometime after entering this room, the whole place has calmed down. No wails, no whispers. Just a silence too deafening. But I'm not letting my guard down until everyone's on the other side of this nightmare, safe. For all I know, this may just be a calm before another storm. Without further incident, however, Zach makes it to the other side and I'm following after him. However odd this hush is, I turn my back from it and climb up. It's a tight fit, but I manage to squeeze myself in. The unease remains, though. Maybe it's the adrenaline still coursing through me, or how easy everything has been after living through that nightmare, fleeting as it is. I might be able to skip a bit. Okay. It's got the gun trained on 3 of them. It's sight enough to lodge a painful thorn up my throat. I've been too complacent. Too focused on other things that I've completely set aside the fact the scumbag will not be too pleased to see us here without knowing our reasons. But even with those, good intentions, curses, and ghostly apparitions aside, we're still trespassing in his home. The question is if he's even aware that the whole of his household has somehow disappeared and he might be the only one here. Likely not. Fuck. Even with people he knows among the crowd, there's a significant effort in him not to simply shoot everyone in sight.
And really, Daisy, even you, what would Kylie say?
Luke, this isn't what you're thinking. You have to listen to us. There's something going on here.
Well, obviously, why else would people be trespassing in my home? What about the photographer over there, then? You were the photographer, right? What's your excuse? Checking back if your clients are doing okay? Is that it? Is this what this is? Oh, we're doing good, by the way.
Please, sir.
Oh, please what?
Rebecca's right, sir. Something ain't right here. We ain't here to harm you or anything. We're just here to help.
Not a good excuse, especially coming from you. Let's simplify it. You people are the ones who need to get out of my sight. Don't worry, I might consider pressing lighter charges for the woman. Can't say the same for the rest of you. But really now, I swear the people of this city need to be taught the meaning of privacy. This is how you want to start the week. Why don't we just go with a bloody massacre if we want to surprise people in their homes, huh?
Okay. Might be able to skip from here? Yes. And this time, Ash, once again, you are not going to get impaled. Congratulations. Okay. Skip. And that CG wasn't bugged this time. Hooray! Okay, so now we just gotta skip ahead until we catch back up to the foyer. Because all of this should basically be the same. Luke doesn't really interact with the main cast too much. Until the very end. I was worried about the kids, darling.
I'm just worried about the children, Hannah.
Yeah.
I know you can take care of yourself just fine. You're one tough cookie.
She is a tough cookie. Okay. Let's just clear up some things. Make it all nice and tidy again. There we go. Boop. Skip, 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 skip. Run from the ghost. Run! Okay, give the flowers to Hana. Now we're all maxed out there. These two deserve a happy ending after all the deaths lately, I think. It's only right. It's only right, I say. After all the stabbings. Okay, so we're gonna hang out with Kylie. Look at a creepy picture. Then we'll have some creepy visions. We should only, yeah, we'll only see the one this time. Interesting. Okay, so we should just wake up and go down. Straight to the foyer. Yes, there we go. Well, that didn't take too long to catch up. And... ba-doop, 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 ba-doop. And from where I stand at the top of the stairs, I can easily make out their forms, recognize them even. It's all gone crazy when these intruders come into my house. I'm no stranger to a cop playing dirty. The smart ones knew that neither life nor criminals are going to play fair. And if one of this WOG sort is in on this, I'm not surprised too. But Daisy, too. What will Kylie think of her Miss Pink if the poor tyke finds out about this? Not to mention Mint. Hana trusted her. I trusted her to be a professional at the very least, for fuck's sake. To top it all off, they all have the nerve to look surprised when I announce my presence.
Well, well, what have we here? If I were any less sober, I'd say this is the beginning of a joke.
Bloody trespassers, what is wrong with these people? Did they really think I'll be fine with them walking into my home like this? What are they even doing in here? If I didn't know any better, they might also be behind Hana's disappearance.
That's right, my love.
They must have a motive.
Make them pay.
And it better be a good one.
For any wrong they've done to us.
Or a bullet to the head is the least all of them will deserve.
Let's see. A photographer, a high school teacher, and an interior designer walk into a mansion.
Boom. Thunder crackles once again, cutting me off. This time its sound hits close enough that it nearly feels as if the windows in the ground itself are rumbling. All is deathly still for a moment. I don't let it stop me, however, as I slowly make my way towards them, taking one careful step at a time, relishing the expression of fear in their eyes. I suppose there's something ominous in this setting, with the heavy rain outside and the lack of light here. I kinda like it, to be honest. Adds something to the atmosphere. I suppose I must look like the villain now. But short of me getting close to them, a noise to my left distracts me, briefly halting my movements while curiosity takes over every murmurs in my head. And it's a good thing, perhaps, that I did, because as soon as I look up, I see him. Another trespasser. Great! Just as he's about to jump down from furniture that has somehow ended up piled and blocking the door to the parlor. What happened there? And did he really think it's all right to do that in other people's house? Lout.
Teach him, my lord. Put him in his place.
My hand's already moving before any rationale can stop me, fingers firm at my gun when I finally release the safety from it and take aim. Not at him, but at his friends. They are his, aren't they? Why else would they be here together? Doesn't matter. He won't let the people he cares about be harmed. My finger on the trigger is more than itching to shoot, but I hold back. Sure, I could have simply taken aim at him. But more than seeing him bleed, I want to see the expression on his face once he realizes everything he's doing is futile. He's trapped. Lives are in my hand. His life's in my hand.
Had I known there would be a party in my own home tonight, I would have opened a bloody bottle or two. People these days, in my own home. Can you believe it? I feel so left out.
I can tell the exact moment the realization dawns on him. A short second of his body freezing and blood draining from his face, as soon as his feet hits the floor and he looks up. He's already a prey, trapped by his own recklessness.
Pathetic.
And really, Daisy, even you, what would Kylie say?
Luke, this isn't what you're thinking. You have to listen to us. There's something going on here.
Well, obviously, why else would people be trespassing in my home? What about the photographer over there, then? You were the photographer, right? What's your excuse? Checking back if your clients are doing okay? Is that it? Is this what this is? Oh, we're doing good, by the way.
Please, sir.
Oh, please what?
Rebecca's right, sir. Something ain't right here. We ain't here to harm you or anything. We're just here to help.
Not a good excuse, especially coming from you. Let's simplify it. You people are the ones who need to get out of my sight. Don't worry, I might consider pressing lighter charges for the woman. Can't say the same for the rest of you. But really now, I swear the people of this city need to be taught the meaning of privacy. This is how you want to start the week. Why don't we just go with a bloody massacre if we want to surprise people in their homes, huh?
It's just a passing remark, of course. I'm not stupid enough to do something that'll bring negative attention to myself. Reputation and all that. I can't just risk it. The thought of having dead bodies here, ones that I'm not even responsible for, they're the ones who trespassed. It's already quite too much. It'll literally be overkill, especially for someone like me. Nevertheless, joke or not, Feathers wastes no time drawing his own gun at the slight wave of my own, even if he knows it's already too late. Okay, might be able to skip? Yes. And I'm gonna demand my wife's release. Why am I hesitating? It's my wife! I'm not letting her die again. Not this time. Alright, we're just missing one person in that picture this time around. Alright, house is shifting. It's a slow thing, a whisper more than a bang as the darkness creeps into every corner of the room. The walls shudder and groan, blood runs from the ceiling, crawls down the walls and stains the floor. It feels as if life itself is being sucked from the house slowly but surely. The beauty of the place is gone, with only the dead, decaying remains of a mansion left in its wake. Probably some dread, too. I don't have to ponder if it's just the foyer that's become this nightmarish place. I can already hear it. Gone are the growling of thunder and the lashings of rain and wind against the foyer's high windows. All of it has been replaced by a more grating sound. A cacophony of voices from nowhere and everywhere echoing throughout the now horrid walls. Voice that neither belongs to us nor the people who live here.
What's going on?
Help! Please!
All throughout the house, shouts of alarm and surprise ring out. A mirror to the horror creeping up in each of us. Who wouldn't be shocked? This is insane. Even Daisy, feisty woman that she is, trembles at the sight of it, while Steel and Feather stand protectively in front of her. Brave of them, I have to admit, to put themselves in the front line like that. Though it doesn't necessarily mean they don't feel the same fear as the rest of us. Something I don't blame them for. There seems to be no end in sight to this insanity. If anything, this only feels like it's the beginning of the end.
Help me! Oh my god! Please, somebody! Anybody! Who are you? Stay away! No. Stay away! Stay away!
We're all in danger! I thought you were my friends! Why don't you believe me?
Their screams fill the mansion. She laughs all the while, a harsh, agonizing sound that goes on for what feels like forever. Can we skip here? Nope. She's reaching out to me, calling, beckoning, pleading. I'm terrified. I really am, like I should be, but I have never been one to truly stay afraid. I've long learned that fear will not get me anywhere. Cowering in a corner doesn't keep me safe, and it will not keep me alive. Not like rage does. I've learned to use this burning hate inside of me to survive. There is no difference now.
Stay away from me!
Why do you wish to leave? This is where you belong, my lord. Remember the blood we share? This is your home. Don't you remember? You promised to return, to stay, together with me, with us, with people no different from you.
What is she talking about, Luke? What does she mean?
Don't listen to her, she lies. I promised no such thing to anyone. Hannah, you're the one who bought this house. How should I know what she's babbling about? I never even wanted to be here in the first place.
A terrible case of mistaken identity. That must be it. I'm quite sure of it. I don't know this woman, this monster. Why would I say that to someone like her? In my entire lifetime, I've only made and kept sincere promises to a mere 2 people, Hannah Evans and Eleanor Chandler. No one else. The rest of those who claim I promise anything to them can go fuck themselves. It's been so long since I read this. Bloody hell, I may enjoy the company of women, but I am not an idiot to start spouting such nonsense to anyone. A line must be drawn, especially if I am to keep myself alive. Yet she still goes on, insists, making me appear a liar in front of these people.
Of course you still deny it. Have you truly forgotten? You haven't changed, I see. Still a deceiver.
She's lying!
You see, my love, nothing has changed. Still no difference, you and I. Just like the rest of us. Just like every single soul in this putrid wreck. We've waited for so long. You can hear them, yes? Their pleas, their calls, their invitation. Come, my lord. The house seeks its master.
She, the monster, reaches out again, her hands a gory, abhorrent sight, along with that smile spread across her face. My body's already moving on instinct. Stumbling back, one step at a time, in a desperate bid to be away from her. Anything to put distance between me and this vile creature. No matter what she says, I am nothing like her. I need to get out of this house. Out of this country, preferably. Take Hannah with me. We can start a new life out of this dreadful city, start a family. There's nothing for us here. Her parents were long gone, nothing to keep us tied to this place. Stroken has likely been taken by this woman, and he's not what binds me to this wretched city. I only need Hannah. We can leave. We can...
Careful, Luke!
My foot steps on something, sending me sliding on my back and flat on the floor. Beside me, a paper, familiar one, flutters down. It's this thing again from the open house, though it feels less like a gimmick and more like a threat, what with recent events. It must have fallen from one of these peasants in the commotion earlier. For a moment, they appear conflicted to see it in my hands, but wisely keep their opinions to themselves. Leaving the damn thing to simply bear its grisly message for everyone in the room to see. Help me. Help me. Help me. Is this it? What they've been telling us? Why everything in my life has gone to shite? Because of some stupid old letter? An invitation indeed. One I am not willing to accept. Not any time. From the top of the stairs, the creature moves again, drawing my attention back to her. Her gait remains slow and awkward as she walks forward, that smile never leaving her. But I won't give her the chance. I am not dying here. I certainly am not giving myself to a hideous creature like her either. Adrenaline kicks in, and despite panicked gasps and worried glances from Daisy's friends, I pay them no mind as I reach for the main door and... Without warning, it slams open, revealing not the mansion grounds like I am expecting. Before my mind can even comprehend what's happening, black tendrils have already coiled tightly around my limbs, dragging every person in the foyer into the room. None of us even get to scream when darkness completely envelops us upon the doors closing.
Understand where your place is now, my love. You belong here. Is it so difficult to grasp? We've been waiting.
Alright, moment of truth. There's a moment of panic when the feeling of the tendrils around my limbs finally dissipates. As soon as my eyes adjust to the darkness of the room and I'm on my feet, I'm reaching for my knife and holding it out, watching, waiting for every movement, using it as a way to put distance between me and these peasants. Who knows what they'll do now? We're all desperate to get out of this house. There's only 6 of us in this room, 3 of them friends at that. I cannot trust these people not to turn on me. Bloody hell, even Hannah's giving me the same looks as them now. Though Mint has already gone loon, crouched in a corner and muttering to herself, you can't really say anyone's safe from her. If anything, she's the one I should watch out for. I cannot trust anyone. Not anymore. Not after this. Everything. Everything that I've built has fallen apart. All because these people came into our lives.
You! All of you! This is all your fault! If I'm dying to this bloody case, I'm taking you all down with me!
Put that knife down, Lucille.
Lucille?
Hey now, Mr. Wright. I know the situation ain't good, but we have to calm down. We're all in the same boat here.
You shut your mouth! If it weren't for you, For this letter. For all of you. None of this would have happened.
And blaming everyone in this room isn't going to get us out of this place. Please put that knife down, darling. You might hurt yourself.
Are you taking their side? You're also stuck in this nightmare, Buttercup.
Buttercup.
What about the children? Aren't you the least bit worried about them? That creature is out to get us, and you're still defending these people.
I'm not defending anyone, Luke. I'm just trying to be reasonable when you're clearly not.
Oh, of course you're not. You're just the one who bought this bloody mansion to begin with. If I didn't know any better, you did this on purpose.
Why, no. Why would I ever do that? This was only meant to be an anniversary gift. For you. For us. For the family we're going to have.
Right, anniversary gift. Oh, here's your gift, darling. Oh, by the way, there's a curse included in that package. I hope that's all right. Are you really that eager to get rid of me, Hannah?
I freaking love Luke's VA.
Because if that's what you've been meaning to do all this time, you might as well just put a knife in my back while I'm...
She should have. Suddenly, Hannah steps up and slaps the knife away from my hand. Said knife slides uselessly under the table out of my reach. Before my mind registers what's happening, a sharp blow explodes on the side of my head, sending me reeling backwards. Yeah, go get it, girl. She merely stands before me afterwards, without even batting an eye, glaring at me as if she might just rip my head off in this instant. Sometimes I forget.
Don't you dare, Luke. Don't you dare imply I've ever thought of you that way.
That Hannah is never the weak woman I believed her to be. How did I come to think of her as such? She used to be someone I can look up to, isn't she? When you look at her now, the way she stands tall facing a man like me, the same way she has done so all those years ago, I can't help but think, am I not responsible for taking that part of herself away from her? Enjoy your time as Mrs. Luke Wright. What a bunch of shite. Realizing this, I can only look away when she reaches up and places a hand on my face. Gone is the anger, and only a soft smile remains while she looks at me with a shine in her eyes. The 7 years we've been together, I've only been nothing but a piece of shite to her. Yet here she is, still smiling at me the way she has done so many years ago. It's impossible not to feel like a complete and utter trash like this. She has an uncanny way of doing that to me, really. Especially when she takes my hand in hers and places it right in her tummy. Right in the tummy. Right where 2 tiny babies are still growing. Ours.
Love, look at me. We've already talked about this. If we are still going to do this, it has to be the 2 of us. I will stay with you, but things are going to have to change if we want this to work. We can't keep doubting each other like this.
Not until we find a way out of here.
I'm sure we can. Maybe they know something we don't.
You're going to rely on them for that? These peasants who brought this on us?
Keep talking about us like that, and see if any of us here will keep you out of this place.
The gall of these people. Bloody peasants! My head's already aching just listening to their attempts to defend themselves. Do they all take me for someone with half a brain? I should have just stabbed all of them and made a run for it. It doesn't help that with each second we spend talking here, the crazier this whole place gets. One of us here in particular. Amidst the fury, Mint suddenly stands. I've almost forgotten she's here, her ramblings having faded away in the shouting. And without warning, she snatches the paper out of my hand. It's a miracle it didn't rip right there and there, but the way she glares at it, I think she may want to do exactly that.
It's this thing's fault! We should have gotten rid of this thing! We should have burned it at the first opportunity we got! There were children! Victims! All because they had no idea what this thing will do to them! Oh god, those poor souls! They were screaming and begging before she... This cursed thing has to go!
She's losing grip with reality, she is. A crazy woman is the last thing I want to deal with, for fuck's sake. The whole world has already gone bonkers as it is. Alright, there goes the voices. Do we get a choice? Because if so, I'll have to make a save. The voices have also become louder and somehow sounding more vicious. If the things in this room start floating, mark my words, I will fucking flip out. And they may not be thinking of it right now, but eventually, they'll turn on me. Such is the nature of humans. I can't let that happen. Fuck, I still have so much to do. Better find a way out of this place as soon as possible if I want to stay alive. And what else is the source of our problem but that sodding letter? Burning this doesn't seem sound, but who knows? We don't understand a shite about this place. Might as well try everything, yeah? Mint may have a point, as questionable as her judgment is right now. Whatever works. If I also have to be the one to make that bloody decision, so be it. And it's an easy decision to make, especially with these cries growing louder. I'm getting tired of it, really. I simply have to act fast, think fast. And what else is the root cause of our problems but that letter? No need to make things more complicated. It started from there, why won't it end there? If what Mint has said is true, then there's all the more reason to destroy it. Put an end to this madness before anyone can think of passing it on to someone else. Before the situation can stretch on far too long for my taste, I snatch the blasted paper away.
Give me that.
For a second, she appears offended until I take out Mum's letter. The sight of it shuts them all up. But I have no need for their opinion. In the next moment, I'm already setting the letter on fire. Interesting. So it's Bella that is the key part of setting the mansion on fire. Nobody else does that. It's only Bella. And it doesn't take too long for the thing to catch fire. It's old, for heaven's sake. Though I make sure none of the ashes end up on anything flammable. It'll be an inferno inside the study with all the books and documents stored here. Not that a big flame's anything to worry about in this case. In fact, in a matter of minutes, the damn thing is turned to ashes on the floor. With nothing left to burn through, the fire dies, fades into thin air and a whiff of smoke, leaving only the awful scent of burnt paper in the room. But as the last of the paper turns into cinders, a sharp, agonized wail echoes from somewhere in the mansion before quickly dying out, taking with her the horror she has brought upon the mansion. Slowly, before our eyes, the mansion changes again. Blood fading from the walls, ceilings, and the floor, returning the place to its old beauty. Gone is the darkness, quickly replaced by the artificial lights in the room. Even the smell of blood and gore has completely disappeared from the room. Perhaps the only thing undesirable left are the dumbfounded looks they're giving me.
See? Wasn't that easy? For fuck's sake, you people need to get your heads checked. How did you all make it this far in life with that kind of thinking? Well, you can all thank me later for this. You may now show yourselves out of my property before I call the police on you simpletons.
I walk out of the study without a single glance back at them, more than eager to finally get fresh air. They can find their way out of this place, I'm sure. I better not catch them again here, though, or I will not be happy. Okay. Letter burning accomplished. Luke agreed with Marianne and started burning the paper. So it's time to make a save. And skip. Let's see what happened. Did we unlock any more endings? Ah. Even with his success, he still hasn't forgotten what he has lost during that time. But while there are still nightmares, with support from his family, his doctor, and his own drive, the dark images have finally turned into pleasant dreams. He's aware he won't ever truly forget, but he's no longer running away. At times, when he's not busy, or after a hard day's work, he thinks there's another story for the big screen to be told in that. An idea he may soon turn into reality once his time affords it. Okay. Ah. So, Rebecca is doing... What is she not doing? She's trying to publish her first book, correcting all inaccuracies in the city's current history. Doing it not for herself, but for the sake of what she lost after the curse. As fresh as the wounds are still, this is how she remembers. Aww, I haven't seen this one yet. So there is like a sad friendship ending for them. What were their friendship levels at? I mean, could be better, I guess, but still. While Rebecca hasn't been particularly close with Zachary Steele, she does regret letting her relationship with the man fall apart the way it did. If things have already been awkward between them in the past, now just standing in the same bus stop as him borders on uncomfortable. All of a sudden, the years they've known each other has been forgotten, and only an awful silence descends between them. Perhaps it's something she has said, or the way she has treated him. She's sure it's never his fault. After all, she has always thought of the man as someone kind. Too kind. And if there's anyone responsible for allowing things to change, she believes the blame should fall largely on her. In any case, it may be all too late to fix things now, and in the end, this is simply one of the things the curse has rudely taken from her. One she's all too powerless to prevent. Aw, that's sad. I get you guys stayed friends. That's good. For the sake of the people who are still with him, those who have chosen to stay, as well as what he lost. He hopes that there will come a day when he no longer has to hide behind his own lies. A day when he is no longer afraid of facing the truth in his own words. These guys are still buds. Good. Alright, so there was some changes. Might have unlocked some variants there. Which is great. Let us just take a quick look at... So 56... Yeah, definitely got that. Interesting. Yeah, there's a Rebecca variant, a Zachary variant, and probably another Ashton variant in there. I will take those. Okay, now to reload and look at our tree. Okay, so Marianne's now at 99. I got Luke up another 2%. Rebecca's up to 77. Ashton's at 76. I don't think I'm going to go all the way through this time. It's just percentages. Although, near the end, I am curious. Okay, we went down here this time. I was wondering which one that opened. And then we went boop doop and boop doop. Okay. Very cool. Got some more stuff knocked off our list, guys. I am satisfied with that. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Thank you very much for joining me once again. Next time, it'll be Hana's turn to die. Probably not a lot's going to change with that, if I'm being totally honest. But whatever there may be, it'll be knocked off. Hopefully. Fingers crossed. So yeah. Hopefully I will see you there, guys. Thanks again for joining me, and until next time, I will see you later.